Chapter 5. Cam and Eric quickly went out the Lee Avenue exit, the same one the man had gone through a few minutes earlier. It led to a street crowded with shoppers leaving the mall. "Do you see him?" Eric asked. "I think so. I think that's him up ahead. He's starting to walk down Lee Avenue." Cam and Eric tried to get through the crowd quickly. With a baby carriage, it wasn't easy. They brushed past a woman carrying a few large packages. She lost her balance, and one of the packages fell. "What do you think that is?" she yelled, pointing to the carriage. "A hot rod?" Eric picked up the package. "I'm sorry," he told the woman. "You should be. Running through here like that, I hope you don't have a baby in there." Eric was about to tell her there was a baby in the carriage. Cam didn't let him. "Come on," she urged, "or we'll lose the man." They rushed ahead. They turned the corner onto Lee Avenue and saw the man halfway down the block. "Let's not get too close," Eric warned Cam, "or he'll know we're following him." They were careful to keep a good distance behind the man. It didn't help. When the man reached the corner, he turned and looked straight at them. "He saw us," Eric whispered. "What should we do?" "Keep walking. If we stop whenever he does, he'll know we're following him." The man stood still and waited. After Cam and Eric pushed the baby carriage past him, he turned and walked down Minnow Road. Cam and Eric kept walking until the man was out of sight. Then they turned and walked back to the corner of Minnow Road. The street was full of construction equipment, huge mounds of dirt. A row of old houses was being torn down. Cam and Eric saw the man walk into the last house at the far end of the street. "It's almost 12, Eric said. "My mother will be waiting. Let's go back and call the police." "And what will we tell them? If those women and Mr. Parker are right, we're following an innocent man. As soon as we know something, we'll call." Cam crouched and made her way down the street. "Come on," she called in a loud whisper. Eric crouched too, as he pushed Howie's carriage and followed Cam. There were piles of dirt and sand all along the sidewalk. When they were behind a huge mound of dirt in front of the last house, Cam collapsed. "We made it," she said. "What do we do now?" "Let's see what's going on inside that house." Cam and Eric started to crawl up the dirt pile. Then Eric stopped. Howie was no longer sleeping. He was beginning to move in his carriage. "Keep him quiet," Cam whispered. "I'll try." "You better do more than try. If he cries, we're in real trouble." Eric rocked the carriage gently. Howie looked up at Eric, but he didn't cry. Cam reached the top of the dirt pile. She had a good view of the old house. It was 3 stories high, with rows of windows. Some of the windows were broken. There were no curtains or shades. Cam could see right inside. Through a large window on the first floor, she saw the man they had followed. He wasn't alone. The couple who had left the jewelry store just after the robbery was there too. Cam quickly crawled down the hill. "I was right, Eric." "Shh," Eric pointed to Howie. "I think he's going back to sleep." "They're all in there," Cam whispered. "The runner and the couple we saw leaving the store. They're all working together. The runner made all that commotion to keep the police from catching the real thief." "What about the woman and the baby?" "Maybe they figured no one would suspect a man who went shopping with his wife and baby. If they did, they were right. You saw what happened when they left the store. They just walked away and almost no one noticed." "Let's go back now," Eric urged, "and get the police." "You go," Cam told him, "and hurry. I'll stay here and watch the house." "Watch Howie, too. I can move faster without him." Eric ran off before Cam could tell him she didn't know how to watch a baby. Cam sat back against the pile of dirt and waited. It was very quiet. Cam looked around. Then she saw why it was so quiet. There were barriers at both ends of the street. Because houses were being torn down, cars were not allowed on Minnow Road. Cam realized that she and Howie were alone. The only other people nearby were the thieves. "I hope Eric hurries," Cam thought. Whoosh! Something dropped to the ground. Cam looked up. A squirrel running along a branch of a tree had dropped an acorn. Howie started to cry. "Oh no," Cam thought. "What would Eric do?" Cam said, "Click." Sometimes just saying it helped her remember. It did. Cam remembered the insulated bag and that Howie couldn't drink milk and cry at the same time. She took the bottle out of the bag. Then Cam heard another noise. She dropped the bottle and looked up. This time it wasn't a squirrel.